Hey guys, this is Lisa, the purple haired mom, and welcome back to my live stream. Sorry that I'm late, but it has been technical difficulty city today. I was ready to scream and I was ready to pretty much say, screw it, I'll do it another day. But so far, so good. We've got it up and running. So today, like I've been telling you guys, I'm going to be doing two different live streams. So one will be on Sundays, and that's going to be more business related, and Thursdays are more of a personal topic type thing. So those of you watching the replay, for YouTube, the replay will not usually show up until the next day. So if you're watching the replay, hi, how are you? Hi. So before we go any further, hopefully this will work since we've been having a lot of technical difficulties, but we're going to go ahead and play the intro. If it works. Only took several tries to get it to work. I don't know what's going on with all of the technical stuff today, but it's about driving me batshit. So today, okay, so I've got my coffee, today's cup. Bring me coffee and tell me I'm pretty. Absolutely. So today is kind of a sensitive topic, okay? If you read the description at all, I don't know if the descriptions show up on all of my all of the different things that it posts live on, but basically this live stream is pretty much called the Big Fat Truth. Okay, Big Fat Truth. So in the description, I put that size has always been a hot button topic. Okay, it's you've got body positive people that are constantly telling you beauty comes in all shapes and sizes, and you don't have to be thin to be beautiful. And honestly, I don't know why, if my face looks this way but my body looks one way, what keeps my face from being pretty? I don't really understand it. But then you also have body shamers. Okay, body shamers are the ones who think that beautiful stops at size 8. And that if you are anything above that, then you are automatically out of the beautiful category, and that skinny is healthy no matter what, and thick is unhealthy no matter what. So lots of misconceptions, and this is an issue that I have lived through, okay? And this is an issue that I have lived through. I've actually done a podcast on this. Some of the Thursday videos will be topics that I've touched on in my podcasts, because there's such big topics that need to be addressed. You know what I mean? So basically, I admit that I'm overweight, okay? I know this. I don't need anybody to tell me that I'm overweight. I know, okay? I know. But also, for several years, it shouldn't have been an issue. Now, I don't know if you understand what I mean by that, but I'm going to go ahead and dive into this. So society changes what beauty standards are. So what society, television, movies, magazines, whatever tells us is beautiful changes all the time. Usually it's about once a decade or so that it changes what exactly society deems as being beautiful, as being, nice, as being pleasant to look at, right? Okay, so beautiful is basically determined by who's popular, right? So I grew up in the 90s, okay? So in the 90s, who was popular and who was at the time, one of the most successful supermodels was Kate Moss. I don't know if you guys know who Kate Moss is, but Kate Moss, my hair is on my nerves today, guys. I'm sorry. Kate Moss is shaped like this, except without this. She's shaped like that. So she is shaped like a boy. That's what she was shaped like. I mean, I don't know a nice way to say it, but I mean, that was the type of body she had. It was a straight up and down. She had barely any boobs. She didn't really have any shape to her, but that is what it was. I believe they called it a waif-like figure. Very reminiscent of Twiggy, except Twiggy had like her biggest feature was her big giant eyes. Kate Moss was literally just skinny. That's all she was just skinny. So it was, you know, she was thin, she was boxy, she was almost boy-like, and that is basically what society said, here. This is what we are deeming as being beautiful. If you do not look like this, then you are fat. Okay, so basically if you were over a size 6 at that point in the 90s, you were considered fat. Yeah, over a size 6. And in the 90s, we had some stores that were specifically geared towards teenagers. And the stores actually jumped on this trend. And you had stores like 579, Rave, Carousel. All of these were very, very popular teenage stores that had like the in look. Like, this is where you got all of your really cute clothes that you wore out and about to wherever you were going. And they didn't carry my size. I actually wasn't that big. When puberty hit, I actually looked like a little boy until puberty hit. Now, when puberty hit, puberty didn't just hit me, it smacked me in the face, and I hit every freaking puberty stick on the way down the puberty tree. So I literally went from nothing to a size C boob at age 13, okay? 13. And then I literally had the body of a grown woman in a 13-year-old's body. And in the 90s, that was like detrimental, because little boys, 13, 14-year-old boys, they don't understand that that's normal. They don't understand. Basically, I went from being this athletic girl to being nicknamed the Blob because of how my body developed. It wasn't that I was overeating. It wasn't that I was not active. That's literally what puberty did to my body. So that's why I say that I went through years of being dubbed overweight and fat when I shouldn't have been, because I wasn't. This was literally what puberty did. And I was being told by society that everything about my body was wrong. So I would go into these stores with my friends, and you have to imagine 13, 14 years old going into a store in a mall with your friends, and you're walking around looking at all these cute clothes, and you're trying to find a size that might fit you. And a store representative walks up and says, we don't have your size here. You're not going to find anything here. So maybe you should just leave. And that's actually what would happen. They would ask me to leave because I was making their store look bad just by being in it. And, you know, I would go look at my size. And at the time, once puberty hit, I think my size 14, I was in like a size 10. So I grew really quickly. And I would have to go shop at, you know, Biggs and places like that, because there weren't, you know, if you went to the plus size stores, there really wasn't too many plus size stores. I think there was one. I'm trying to remember what it was called. I cannot remember what it was called. There was like one plus size store, and it was for older women. So you couldn't find teenage clothes there. We didn't have Torrid. Okay. We didn't have Torrid in, you know, my time in the 90s. We didn't have that. If I would have had that, I would have been stoked, because I love shopping at that store. But we didn't have options for plus size. So if you were over the size of six, you had 6, 7, 8, 9 was pretty much, you were right at the edge. So if you were 10 and above, you were forced to go to these other stores that carried nothing but shapeless clothes. I'm talking every shirt looked like a tent. Every pair of jeans was up to here, and it was impossible to look cute. And when I was growing up, the big thing that everybody wore was Guess jeans. And if you guys don't, they're the ones with the little triangle on the back that said Guess. That was what everybody wanted. I couldn't find Guess jeans in my size. Like, they didn't carry them. Like, they pretty much acted like if you were above a size 9, you didn't exist. So that was just kind of what happened. And so you're forced to wear shapeless, horrible clothing, or you were forced to lose weight. And when you are in the middle of puberty at 13, 14 years old, and your body has just gone through a change, if you try to force your body to lose weight that it doesn't need to lose, because it's coming into where your body's supposed to be. If you try to lose weight that your body is not intended to lose, it will completely screw up your entire body makeup. So this is how eating disorders start. Okay, this is how eating disorders start. So you have these girls that are basically, I was basically being told that I was not normal. I did not fit in. I was not supposed to look the way that I did. So I needed to lose weight to get into the clothes that they sold because that's what I needed to do. And it didn't help that, society is telling me that I'm wrong. So society is dictating to everybody else what I'm supposed to look like. So therefore everybody else is like, yeah, that's not what you're supposed to look like. You're fat. And, I took that to heart. And I remember I looked like this all through high school. Okay. I had big boobs. I had, if I looked now the way I looked in high school, oh my God, I would be probably naked every day in the frozen food section of Kroger's. I would be bomb. But because of when I grew up, that is not what was considered pretty. That was not what was considered cute. If I looked like that now, I'd probably be locked in a tower somewhere. I guarantee I would be locked up. But I was told that that was not the way we were supposed to be. So then you got to see that, you have society dictating everything that we do. So even though I wasn't fat, society said I was, therefore the public said I was. Therefore, I was told that's the way I was supposed to think. I was supposed to just get over it and just, either lose weight or just be okay with the fact that I was never going to have cute clothes. I was never going to be cute and guys were never going to like me. It was pretty much how it was. And as I got older, I started to realize this, because then you see the trends change, right? You see the trends start to change. So what do you see happening? The next supermodel that everybody starts completely loving is Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks looked like an actual human being. She had boobs, she had hips, she had an ass. She was amazing. Like, this is what we had been waiting for. First time that she came out, she was told she was fat. She had to lose weight. So, not wanting to lose her job, she did. But it got to a point where she just basically told them, screw off. This is who I am. And a lot of people said, oh, she had a boob job. No, those suckers were real, because she's had those since I can remember. And there's a big difference between fake boobs and real boobs. Fake boobs usually don't move. They don't have a lot of give and take to them. Hers were real, and she was criticized for them. I remember them saying, how many times I heard people say, oh, well, we're going to be releasing a new plus size line. But the plus size line was literally size 10 and 12. And that was, here's your plus size line. Well, what about everybody else? What about everybody else? And then you have the people that want to jump on the bandwagon of, oh, well, why are you glorifying fat people? I don't know if you guys saw the thumbnail that I put on there. I'm actually going to pull it up for myself on the phone so I can read to you. This is an actual sweatshirt, okay, that was being sold online. This is an actual sweatshirt that was being sold online. And I don't know, I'm going to have to see if I can turn it around. Okay, okay. I got to find the light. Okay, so we see this, right? This is an actual shirt being sold online. Being fat is not beautiful. It's an excuse. Number one, if I was a model that was asked to wear that, I probably would have told that company to screw off. That is an actual sweatshirt being sold. I think they actually forced them to take it off their website, but I don't know where they keep all their audacity, but that is absolutely not okay. It's not okay. Why is this okay? Why is it okay to shame people for their bodies? Number one, because it doesn't just happen to big people. It happens to small people too. Because I have seen so many people, when you get to be a certain size, people just automatically assume that you're lazy, that you don't want to put in the work to lose the weight. They don't think about things that have gone into, you know, in your life, gone on in, have gone into your body actually turning into what it is. People don't want to think that there's an actual reason that you might look like that. Because this is funny. Being fat is not beautiful. It is an excuse. I bet you anything that the girl wearing that or the company that made that has never gone through, PCOS, has gone through having children, having really hard pregnancies that have wrecked your body to the point to where it's really hard to get back to where you were. My body issues, I've always been a bigger girl since I hit puberty, but my body issues actually began, I've always had really rough pregnancies. And I've had 4 kids and I've had 4 C-sections. And if you guys don't understand what a C-section is, a lot of people say, oh, it's a C-section. That's just, it's not really anything. Okay, obviously you need to read up on C-sections. Cesarean sections are major, major surgery. They cut through, there's actually a video. Somebody actually did a video wearing layers of clothing to show how much damage is being done to your body when you have a cesarean section done. They cut through about 6 to 7 layers of your body, okay, to get to where they're going to get the baby out. Not only that, but they're cutting through your muscle. They're cutting through layers of fat, skin. They actually do take insides, move them around to get to the baby, and then put everything back in. So that was done to me 4 times. Okay, so 4 times my body, the muscle, the stomach muscle was, cut into. You can only have things like that happen so often before the muscle stops working. There's actually a part of my abdomen that I can't even feel anymore because of having all that happen. Not only that, but when you have a baby, your hormones change. Everything changes about your body. Everything goes through a big flip-flop, especially when if you're a woman and you're having a boy, you've got foreign hormones in your body. Okay, I went through something my first pregnancy called toxemia. It starts out as preeclampsia, and it's basically you tend to retain water. And I'm not talking about you can get a little bit of, I'm talking about your ankles blow up to here. It's nothing but water. Your body starts drowning pretty much. It's, if you've ever seen somebody in the midst of heart failure where their body is like just retaining so much fluid that they are, it's complete and total suffering. Like they can't move very well. They were having a hard time breathing. That's what that is. That's pretty much what toxemia is. It's my body went into shock pretty much. And then, my body was never the same, therefore, after. So with each child, it became harder and harder for me to lose weight. Not only that, but my chest would get bigger, which it's supposed to with every kid. But also, once you have the kid, it's supposed to go down. You're supposed to go back to normal. But it wasn't doing that. So, people don't think of how your body ends up to where it is. They just think, oh, well, you gained weight, so you must be lazy and not want to do anything and just sit around and eat all day. Yeah, half the time I forget to eat. I will be the one that goes through their day, it gets to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm like, did I eat today? I can't remember. Because that's what happens. I wish I could say I sat around and ate bonbons all day. I don't. But then you also have issues like diabetes. Like I said, PCOS. If you're not aware of what PCOS is a condition that wreaks havoc on the female body. I'm talking about, you would not even want your worst enemy to go through some of the stuff that these women with PCOS do. They go through things like weight gain, body hair that comes out of nowhere, mystery aches and pains. And when I say aches and pains, I'm talking about serious hurt. It's painful. Not only that, but a lot of them go through infertility. So you've got all of these things that are down to one condition. And it's really hard for people to get doctors to listen to them on that. So instead of body shaming, we need to be doing motivation. Okay. And motivation, I hate to tell you guys, is not posting a picture of a woman in workout gear who looks perfect and saying, here's your motivation. No. Motivation is actually, being the voice that tells them that they can do this, being the voice that is behind them. And the same goes for people that are skinny shaming. Okay, just because somebody is thin that doesn't mean that you have the right to tell them that they can't feel some way, because skinny does not always mean healthy. Okay, you don't know. You could be looking at somebody who just came out of the throes of an eating disorder and they're on their way to bringing themselves back to healthy. You don't know this because, well, most of the time it's because nobody's ever asked, or nobody's tried to get to know them, or because they just assumed, because they figured, hey, they're skinny, I'm just going to assume things about them. Never, ever, ever think that you're perfect, okay? And if you are holding off on, this is to guys and girls, if you're holding off on somebody because you're like, well, I would love to date them. They're great. They really make me laugh. They really make me feel good. I always feel like I'm really happy when I'm with them, but they're kind of overweight. And that's what's keeping you from giving somebody a chance. You don't deserve them. Because if weight is the only thing that's keeping you from dating somebody, and I've had this happen to me. I've literally had people tell me that, oh my gosh, you make me laugh. You have a pretty face, but you'd be so much prettier if you just lost weight. Okay, well, the ability to lose weight is there. Sometimes it's just figuring out what's going to work for your specific type of body. But to be told that, oh, I would be so much prettier if I just lost weight, like it's nothing, like, I'm sorry, you're perfect. It just doesn't make any sense. And yeah, we can do the whole, well, they're attracted to what they're attracted to. I don't care. Obviously, they were attracted to more things, because if you're telling me that I make you laugh, if you're telling me that I make you feel good, if you're telling me that I have a pretty face, you're telling me that you enjoy my company, then you're pretty much telling me that you're attracted to me. The only thing that you have a problem with is the size of my body. So basically what you're saying is you want your cake and you want to eat it too. You want to have everything that you want on the inside wrapped up in a nice little package to what you deem is worthy for you. And unfortunately, you're not always going to get what you want, but somebody is going to realize that that person that you passed up is an amazing catch. And then where are you going to be? You're going to be searching forever for a perfect person that doesn't exist. Just a little insight there. But before you decide that you're going to judge somebody based on the size of their body, think of what that person might be going through. They might be going through an eating disorder. They might be going through depression. They might be going through a medical condition. You don't know. So just to assume that just because they're on the bigger side, I'm big. Sorry, that's the way it is. I'm working on losing weight, but it's not very easy for me. It's not like I can just, cut everything out. And most of what I eat is salad. So if I could, I would eat a salad for every meal of the day. I am on my way to trying to find a breakfast salad, but I would eat salad every day for every meal. I love vegetables. I love fruit. I don't eat badly, but I have to figure out what's going on specifically in my body to make me not lose weight. And just so you guys know, there is something called insulin resistance, which is a new thing that they've actually that they figured out. Doesn't mean that you're diabetic. Doesn't even mean that you're pre-diabetic. It means that the insulin in your body is making you retain more weight than you normally would. So that's the next thing that I'm actually going to be looking into for my body, because my body literally has had every other crazy thing happen to it in its 42 years on this earth. Why not that too? But you just got to be careful. You just got to be careful how you approach people. Don't just assume that because they're on the bigger side that they're lazy. Don't assume because they're on the smaller side that they have no problems, because you don't know somebody's story. And if you don't know somebody's story, you do not have the right to judge them. So take the old thing that your mothers used to tell you and your grandmothers used to tell you. If you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say anything at all, because it takes zero time, zero effort, and zero money to just not speak. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything. Don't, rag on them for their weight. Don't rag on them for anything. There's no reason to. Try to be understanding. If you really want to get to know the person, if you think they're a nice person, get to know them. You might find out something you didn't know. Maybe you can be the person to help get them to where they want to be. Don't assume that, just because I'm a big girl, okay? I don't want to be, but I have to find what works for me. And that's not always going to be easy. So maybe you're the person who can help somebody like me that is, dealing with something that they haven't figured out what's wrong. So just think before you speak, think before you act. It doesn't take that much to do that. And the big fat truth is that beauty does come in all shapes and sizes. God made us for a reason, right? And everybody knows that, if everybody looked the same, this would be a really boring place. If everybody looked the same, I'm sorry, but everybody would have to look like me with purple hair because I can't survive without this and I don't do normal. So if everybody looked the same, it would be really, really boring, really effing boring. So we have to embrace each other's differences. Just because they don't maybe look exactly like your perfect person, I mean, who cares, right? They might be an amazing person that you're going to miss out on just because of the fact that you decided to be shallow. And I'm not talking about the Lady Gaga song. So just the big fat truth is don't be a dick. That's pretty easily said. Don't be a dick. Because like I said, you don't know anybody's story. What I went through as a child and as a teenager has scarred me to be self-conscious for the rest of my life. I don't know what other people see when they look at me, but I know what I see when I look at me, and I don't like it. And that's because of what other people have told me, because you can only hear something so many times before you really start to believe it. And don't be that person. Don't take somebody's self-esteem and drive it into the ground. It just doesn't do anybody any good. Sound good? Sound good. This has been a good talk, guys. Went a little longer than I thought, and I was late, so I apologize. But hey, do me a favor if you're watching this on YouTube on the replay, which will probably be tomorrow. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave me a comment, and don't forget to hit the little bell so that you get notifications of when a new video comes up every Sunday and Thursday, or I should say every Monday and Friday, because that's when, if it's not a replay, it pops up on YouTube as a video. So if you're watching on any of my other social medias, I don't know what happens with the replays there, but I appreciate you joining me, whether you're live or on the replay. All of my social medias are in the description box below. And I will see you guys on the next video. So the next one live stream will be on Sunday. And don't forget to pop into Anchor, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts to listen to the Purple Haired Podcast. And those come out sporadically, usually once a week. If I'm really on a tangent, sometimes it's twice a week. So I appreciate you lending me your ear today, and I appreciate you hanging out with me today. I apologize for all the technical difficulties. Hopefully next time it'll be a little smoother. So thanks for joining me, and you guys have a great day, and Purple Haired Mom is out. Hopefully this will end right. Took a minute.